sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. So once again, I thank everyone for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. So may I know who all are joining the call today?
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Dandut Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Priti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Priti Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvind Das from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and to all the assembled devotees. This is Megha from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mega Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji. All glories Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj's. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharajas, and all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Tiffany in Pennsylvania. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Tiffany Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Padmasakhi Devidasi from Florida.
Hare Krishna, Padmasakhi Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga, and all the assembled devotees. Yashomati from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashomati Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to assembled devotees. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, is there anyone who would like to introduce on the call today?
Hare Krishna, Bhagavati Vasudeva Mataji. I'm Dandavas Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru and Gauranga, all glories to all the Vaishnavas. I'm Kamala Gopi Devidasi from Toronto.
Hare Krishna, Kamala Gopi Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Gurudev, all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Shiromani Nandarani Devdasi from Krishna Katha Desh. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Shiromani Nandarani Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to assembled devotees. This is Charu from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Charu Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat. Oh my God. Please, Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. My Dandavat Pranam to you and to all assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. All glories to my Gurudev Dr. Keshavanand Prabhuji. And happy Ekadashi to all who are in India. Hare Krishna Mataji Madhav Tithi ki jai. Bhakti Janani Tithi ki jai. Hari Vasir Tithi ki jai. Gauranga Nityananda. Hare Krishna Mataji Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call, and thank you for all your wishes. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, is there anyone who would like to introduce on the call?
Go ahead, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. I offer my obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. And I'm sorry, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Induleka Karuna Devi Dasi from Lincoln.
Hare Krishna, Induleka Karuna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shyama Guru Devi Dasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shyama Gauri Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Sorry, Mataji, please introduce yourself.
Geeta Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru and Gauranga, all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Geeta from Dallas, Texas, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Geeta Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna. Yeah, welcome all of you once again. Thank you so much for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are really fortunate to have His Grace Sanatana Dharma Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam from 6.1.65 onwards. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to hand over the call to Tiffany Mataji to give a brief introduction on Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. We are so fortunate to have with us today His Grace Sanatana Dharma Prabhuji. Prabhuji is Brahmachari from ISKCON Pune, and he is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. And he has been practicing Krishna consciousness for many more than 12 years. Prabhuji has studied B.Tech from NIT Trichy. Prabhuji worked as a senior manager at Tata Motors in Pune. And his current services include area management and project development head at areas around Pune. He is a counselor, youth and corporate preacher, congregation preacher, secretary at Voice Organization, and he is also a remote mentor for the new Vedic Cultural Center in Pune at the Pune Temple. Prabhuji knows many languages such as English, Hindi, Tamil, Malayalam, Bengali, Marathi, Telugu, and Japanese. He has degrees in Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, the ISKCON Disciples course, and teachers training courses. And I just humbly request all devotees to please turn on your cameras because Prabhuji prefers that, so that he can make his class even more ecstatic by seeing all of our faces. So Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for that brief introduction. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept all of our humble obeisances. Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association in this Bhakti Sangha conference call. We are really fortunate to hear from you today on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Can I just get the verse number once again?
6.1.65.
All right, we'll start with prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadeeshatarine Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhobhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Shri Chaitanyamishwaram Paramanandamadhavam. Hare Krishna. Very happy to see some of you, and I'll be happier to see all of you. So if possible, videos. Please, requesting some more devotees to kindly turn on the videos. You may be in dark rooms, you may be in kitchen, you may be in altar, you may be driving. Yes, please do turn on your videos, which will inspire me. At least one poor soul will get inspired to have darshan of Vaishnavas. So it's my great pleasure. I was catching a flight this Friday for traveling and preaching, but somehow Hare Shama Gauri Mataji is very compassionate upon me to somehow or the other get some service. Come on, when are you available? I said, Mataji, all right. Seeing that you're so determined, I'll definitely, for your pleasure, give some class. So yesterday, my class got scheduled for today, right? So I'm very happy to come here. I'm always very happy to come. So we have been discussing this.
You are always ready, Prabhu. You are always ready to give class. Your study is always complete. So you don't need to prepare for the class.
I wish that was true. I never prepare for class. But I have to start preparing. If I can prepare, that's one of the expectation. In fact, we had His Holiness Bhakti Vigyan Goswami Maharaj, and he was telling all of us what is the sense gratification for brahmachari, and we all said prasad. Yes, hot prasad, because some of grihasthas don't have that fortune. They have to pack dabbas and go for lunch. They have to pack it. Brahmacharis get hot prasad. Yes, is that correct? He said absolutely wrong. Sense gratification is well prepared classes. Yes, when you prepare very deeply, thoroughly, and you deliver classes, that is the real sense gratification for a brahmachari. However, if you all turn, some more of you turn on your videos, I'm having some surprise for all of you. And that surprise is special Prabhupada pastimes in the end. Yes, we should celebrate our Prabhupada's appearance, right? So please. Okay, so there's some more videos on. So in the end, please wait for some special nectarian pastimes of Srila Prabhupada. Yes. Okay, so let us just quickly revise what is the section going on. The section last time there was a conversation between the Yamadutas and Vishnudutas. Both of them were conversing. Yamadutas spoke. In fact, they just questioned the audacity of the Vishnudutas to challenge them. However, the Vishnudutas actually asked them, if you're really truly the servants of Yamaraj, please tell us very clearly what is religion, what is irreligion. And Yamadutas began to answer one by one, quoting the different sakshis, the 12 types of sakshis, witnesses to the activities of all living entities. They very clearly say those activities mentioned in the Vedas, their religion, those activities which are performed against the verdict of Vedas are irreligion. Then there are so many analogies. Yes, analogies which are presented by oh my God, we should admit these Yamdutas are very well learned. They're so very learned in Shastras.
Yes, they give an analogy of a silkworm. They give an analogy of a person dreaming. So many things. Just very quickly, I'm recapitulating everything. And finally, they very clearly say that association of this Prakriti, the material world, is somehow or the other. If you keep associating with material world, the living entity remains in a very awkward position. And I was recently hearing my spiritual master. He was mentioning that this entire universe is designed in such a way that everybody becomes an impersonalist. Yes, this is a very impersonal place. You will become a very good impersonalist if you remain in this material world. So that is why bhakti is actually a very personal path. Somebody who wants to take up to Krishna consciousness, first you have to become personal. And that is why relationship with Vaishnavas is very important. Because association with devotees makes us first personal. Yes, our impersonal tendencies are slowly shot down in association of Vaishnavas. We become a personalist. Then we'll be able to appreciate the personal form of Krishna, the personal Lord. So they were telling, material world will put you in an awkward position. And finally, they start recounting the history of Ajamil. Because they wanted to prove it. We have explained now what is religion, a religion. Now we are going to describe to you what has been this fellow's past life. Yes, so one by first they glorify Ajamil. My God, they glorify Ajamil so beautifully, and somebody who is just reads the sloka out of context may think that, oh, this must be the qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. No. Maybe the qualities of Dhruv Maharaj. I think the qualities of Ambarish Maharaj. But sorry, the qualities of Ajamil. My God, such an exalted person, such an elevated person who's practically, if you look, he's at par. He's at par in qualities, in terms of material qualities, in terms of the display of certain behaviors. He's at par with many of the pure devotees. But there's one thing definitely missing here in all the qualities. Who can say that? All the qualities are mentioned, but there's one thing missing.
Guru
Easy.
Ashray? Guru Ashray?
Yes. Guru Ashray is something definitely missing. Acharya Upasana.
Love of Krishna.
That's it, bhakti. There's nowhere mentioned that he is Krishnaika Sharanam or he has bhakti. No, that is missing. Yes. Ajamil also definitely may have some guru, but there may not be a guru coming in the line of disciplic succession. Because in Vedic times, guru is everyone has to accept a guru for anything. You have to get trained there. And he himself is a Brahmana. So his father was his guru as well. Because another word guru, which is mentioned, is father. So many times for many Brahmanas, just like for Dronacharya, Ashwatthama is his son. And he's also the guru of Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama did not have a separate guru. It was his father. So many Brahmanas would have their father, like Parshuram. Of course, his martial arts guru was Shiva, who taught him Kalaripayat, the martial arts. And Kung Fu and Karate, they're all derivatives of Kalaripayat. But his guru as such is Damadagini Rishi. He's one of the Sapta Rishis. He's the guru of Parshurama. So he did. And even if you see in Ramayana, Dasharath Maharaj is addressed as Guru of Rama. And there Prabhupada writes Guru as father. But Guru means a preceptor, somebody who shows the direction. So in that sense, even a father is a Guru. And Guru can be father also. Right? So he might have had a Guru, but he didn't have Bhakti. Or he didn't have a Vaishnava Guru. Coming in the bona fide Guru Shishya Parampara, either in the Brahma Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Shri Sampradaya, Kumar Sampradaya, one of these paramparas, see, that he didn't have probably. Okay. So after all this was mentioned, then the storyline goes on that Ajamil had gone to collect some fruits, flowers and grasses. Yes, but then he ended up watching a low-class affair over there, a Shudra and Shudrani performing nonsense. Yes. And as soon as he saw that, the lusty desires which are dormant, they awakened. Do children have lust? Tricky question. Do children have lust? Yes or no?
Scientifically, yes. And they are dormant.
Yes, dormant. So similarly, technically everybody has lust. And every embodied being has lust. Because another meaning of lust is misidentification. Correct? So everybody has lust. Correct? So lust is there. So lust is there within every living entity, but it is the external stimuli that kindles that lust. Yet it stirs the lust. It's not that everybody is lusty always. No. That is the problem with Vedic activities, pure Vedic activities. Those are in Sattva Guna. If somebody is just performing Vedic activities, Vedic rites and rituals, pujas, and all these things, the problem is as soon as there is an external stimuli, yes, which kindles the lust, automatically that lust which is dormant immediately comes up, is stirred. Yes, there is a process called Vedic process, is like sedimentation process. Sedimentation. What is sedimentation? Sedimentation is something that Buddha taught his disciples. I'll tell you what is sedimentation. So once Buddha and his disciples, they were wanting to drink some water. Yes. So a herd of elephants, they just pass by that river. And as soon as the elephants pass by that particular water body, the water becomes muddy. And all Buddha's disciples, they say, oh Buddha, oh Gurudev, just see, the water has become unfit for our consumption now. Buddha doesn't speak a word. He just sits down there and meditates. Of course, my goal is not to promote Buddhism here, but point is I'm just mentioning the story as a lesson. And all his disciples following the Guru's footsteps, they meditate. And after some time, he tells the disciples, now please open your eyes and now you can drink the water. They said, but Gurudev, this is muddy. And he says, just look. Wow, the mud is all gone. Why? Sedimentation. Just don't stir the water, it will sediment. So this is what people practice in this world. Okay, you're feeling lusty, okay. Just don't associate with anything. Yes. But as soon as there is a strong stimulus, the elephant once again comes. The dormant lusty desires will come up. They resurface. Yeah, they resurface again. This is the problem with Vedic rituals, pure rituals. So that is why understanding the spirit of Vedic rituals, the spirit lies in Srimad Bhagavatam. The spirit lies in the Bhakti Shastras. So when we hear the Bhakti Shastras and then we perform the rituals, then what happens? When we do that, then it becomes spirit plus ritual becomes spiritual. Spirit plus ritual, spiritual. And then one is situated in the consciousness of Brahman. Brahma bhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samas sarveshu bhuteshu mat bhaktin labate param. Correct? At that stage, one is not materially disturbed. But although Ajamil is a Brahman, he's supposed to be Brahman realized. He's supposed to be unagitated in all these situations. But still, because of a lack of higher taste, because of not having engaged his senses in bhakti, he was subjected to deterioration. That's what happened. He got degraded. Tani sarvani samyamya yukta asita matparaha. Vashehi asya indriyani tasya prajna pratishtita. Krishna very clearly says, unless your senses are engaged in my loving service, matparaha, that is my loving service, your senses, you cannot be sense controlled. Yes, you cannot be sense controlled without engaging your senses in my service. That's what happens. So he tries. It's not that Ajamil did not try. Somebody may just do it. Whoa, my God, that's so nice. Maybe I'm missing all this fun in my life. Let me just give in to it. Ajamil didn't do that. Ajamil tries his best. And what is the best he could do? The best he could do was recollect the Shastras. Matravat paradhareshu paridruvyeshu loshtravat atma sarveshu bhuteshu yapatsyati sa pandita. I'm a pandit. What should be my vision? I'm a married man. I'm supposed to be looking at other men's wives as mothers. Mataji. I'm supposed to call her Mataji. I'm supposed to see her as worshipable mother. He tried all that. Yes. Dhyayato vishyan pumsa sangasteshu pachayate sangat sanjayate kava kamat krodho bijayate. He was trying his best. So thoroughly, what all slokas he knew, he tried every single thing. Everything he tried. Stambayan atmanatmanam yavat sattvam yathashtam. Yes, na shashaka samadhatu, na shashaka samadhatu. He could not get that samadha, na shashaka. He couldn't control. Mano madana vepitam. This madan is very strong. Madan means what? Madan means lust. Cupid, who activates the lust. Yes, Cupid is the one who activates the lust. As soon as Cupid always carries his 5 arrows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And usually he doesn't use the other 4. 1 is enough. 1 is good enough. And in age of Kali Yuga, he doesn't even have to do that. He says, I'm jobless. Everything is happening automatically. My God, I have nothing to do here. Natasya karyam karana. I'm winding up my business. Everything is going on. Hare Krishna. So that's what. So Cupid, Madana Vipitam. Cupid is someone who he first attacks the intelligence. Yes, he attacks the intelligence. And then one is completely flabbergasted. Gone case. So that is why even in the Bhagavatam, there's a particular shloka. I'm trying to get that shloka. The Vishwam. This is that beautiful shloka. I just wanted to show it to all of you. 5:18.4. Vadanti Vishwam Kavayasmanashwaram Pashyanti Chatatma Vido Vipaschita Tatapi Muhyanti Tavachma Mayaya Suvismitam Krityam Ajam Natosmyaham. Can someone read this translation, please? It's a beautiful verse.
O unborn one, learned Vedic scholars who are advanced in spiritual knowledge certainly know that this material world is perishable, as do other logicians and philosophers. In trance, they realize the factual position of this world and they preach the truth as well. Yet, even they are sometimes bewildered by your illusionary energy. This is your own wonderful pastime. Therefore, I can understand that your illusionary energy is very wonderful, and I offer my respectful obeisances unto you.
Hare Krishna. This is what. See the power. Vadanti Vishwam Kavayasmanashwaram. I know. I've studied the scripture. First of all, I know. I'm watching. Observation. Number 2, I know the philosophy. Yes. I know the philosophy also. Philosophically also, I'm convinced. Number 2. Number 3, I'm in touch with the philosophy constantly. Number 4, I'm also preaching this philosophy. Number 5, I'm able to see this world as an illusion in trance. I'm situated in trance platform. Even such people are bewildered. Such powerful is Maya. And Ajamil was, after all, a regular Vedic Brahmana with good qualities. Then what happens to him? Yes, he's attacked by Kama Vepitum, Madana Vepitum. He's attacked by this Cupid. Cupid who makes you stupid. Cupid who makes you stupid. Lust that makes you rust. I give titles to such classes. Yes. So Ajamil section, I had given a program. Cupid who makes you stupid. And that was Ajamil's katha. He made him stupid. And that's many people have fallen into that trap. And because of that, Ajamil lost all his good sense. And what happened? He's always thought of prostitute. As a result of which he brought her to his house as a maidservant. And as a maidservant, he started having affair with her. And when that started happening, he started having affair. His parents, they were quite concerned. They told Ajamil, Beta, my dear son, what are you doing? He said, wow, who are you to question me? This is your age to go to the forest, go to pilgrimage, out. I request you. He very decently tells them, as a decent child, now this is an age for you to go to Tirth Yatra. You go and visit pilgrimage. Stay there and focus on your bhakti. Go. This is no more time for you to remain attached in house. And he continued his affair. And his wife, she asked, Swami, what have I done? I've been a chaste wife. I wanted to just serve you. He says, I don't want to see your face anymore. You please go to your parents' house. Leave immediately. So he drives her also away. That's what happens to Ajamil. So he, as a result of association with a prostitute, a low-class woman, Ajamil gave up his Brahmanical culture. This is what happens. In association with low-class people, especially women, low-class women, man, woman, opposite sex, low-class, finished. All one's good culture is gone. For a woman, woman means man. Okay? So any low-class person, and if that low-class person is of the opposite gender, then one will have to give up one's Brahmanical culture. Yes, Brahminical culture is gone. So that's what happened. And his entire life he dedicated to please the prostitute, just to please her. I live for pleasure. So we say, na, Ata Pumbir Duja Sreshta Varna Ashrama Dvagasana Swanishtasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. So what was Ajamil doing? Samsiddhir prostitute Toshanam. That's what he was doing. He lived just for the pleasure of pleasing the prostitute. He was just fulfilling her needs and wants. So let us now, in this light, we are going to be discussing this particular shloka today. Vipram swabharyam apraudha kule mahati lambhitam visassarja chirat papa swairinya panga viddhadhi. Translation, somebody?
Because his intelligence was pierced by the lustful glance of the prostitute, the victimized Brahmana Ajamil engaged in sinful acts in her association. He even gave up the company of his very beautiful young wife, who came from a very respectable Brahmana family.
Hare Krishna. So, Vipram. Yes, Vipram. What did Ajamil have? He had everything. He had very good culture. He had very good parents. And here it's mentioned Vipram, which means she was just not another lady. She is a daughter of a very well-read Brahmana. Janmana Jayate Shudra. By default, just by taking a birth, one is a Shudra. By default, everyone is Shudra in this world. Samskara Bhivet Bhavet Dvija. As soon as one accepts a Guru, and Guru performs the ceremonies, samskaras, then one becomes a Dvija, second birth. Dvija, Dusra Janma, Dvija, Jafa Janma, birth. Veda Pathet Bhavet Vipra. You study the Vedas nicely, you become a Vipra. Brahma Janati iti Brahmana. So the wife that Ajamil had, Vipram, she's a daughter of a very respectable Brahmana who is well-read in Shastras. And a well-read Brahmana in Shastras would naturally keep sharing Shastras. He's haunted by the Vedic sound vibration, and he would constantly share Shastras with everybody he meets. And normally, it is said that the son is attached to mother and daughter is attached to father. This is what we find normally there. Yes, son is attached to mother, daughter is attached to father. So what good culture and what wonderful knowledge he would have imparted to his daughter, the Brahmana, Vipram. That's why she is also very well learned. Although women did not go to Gurukul to get trained, they used to get trained in the home. Yes. He had the great fortune of having such a wonderful wife who's well learned, who knew the scriptures. And not that she was, I'm bored with her. Oh, proud arm. She was young. Yes, not that very old. She was youthful, still youthful. Still youthful. Yes. So once what happened? That devotees who were there, they were saying, we request all youth to kindly come forth and lift curtains. So I thought I am a youth and I went there. And I said, okay, can I also lift the the curtains, Prabhupada books, BBT curtains? I said, no, Prabhuji, we've called all youth, not you. Then I asked, if I'm not youth, am I bhoot? No, in Hindi, bhoot means ghost. Am I bhoot? If I'm not youth, am I bhoot? I mean, I'm youth. Of course, youth is ultimately a consciousness. Youth is ultimately an energy. It is not an age. It's not a number. Youth is how you feel. So how many of you are youth? Here, say Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Turn on your videos if you are youth. Yes, at least this is one way I can get the videos on. Everyone wants to be youth. Prabhuji, we are all youth. We are not booth. Yes, I never said that if your videos are off your booth. I never said that. I'm just saying if you're youth, please turn on your videos. Yes, so she was youthful, apraudham. Yes. Kule mahati, very respectful. Now, this is another very important factor. In fact, when Rukmini proposes to Krishna, that time she also said, Katva mukunda mahati kulashila rupa vidya vayo dramina Paramatma tulyam Tirapati kulavati navrinita kanya kale nrsimhanara loka manobhiramam. So there's a beautiful episode. Actually, what happened once, His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu was using internet in the cyber cafe. This is many years back, 20 years back probably. And there was a brahmachari, of course, it's a rule. We don't use internet in private. We use internet with association of another devotee. That's how we use. Brahmacharis are strict in associating with even internet. We do that. We publicly use net, no personally. And whatever account, now because now that's not practical, we travel, etc. Our entire system is transparent, which means temple knows all our activity, what we do. It's a very open system. So right now I'm giving a class, it's known. Whatever site I visit, it's tracked on the temple. So that is how we maintain. So suddenly, when Prabhuji was using, there was a pop-up. The pop-up was, will you marry me? I know the pop-up for a brahmachari, that too like Radheshyam Prabhu. The pop-up comes, will you marry me? So Prabhuji immediately remembered this verse from Bhagavatam. And he goes, yes, this is Rukmini who's telling Krishna, will you marry me? Yes, he remembered. So in that shloka, what is Rukmini doing? Rukmini is trying to match herself and Krishna. So one of the way in which she matches is Mahati. Katva Mukunda, Mahati was the first thing she says. So here also it is said that Mahati means a Mahati Kule, which means from a very, very Mahan. Mahati comes from Mahan. Maha. We say na Maharaj, Mahatma. Maha means great. So Mahati means from a very great lineage. So she was not from any ordinary family. A very aristocratic, that's a brilliant word. Yes, a very aristocratic family, a great family, very respectable family. And Lambitam, they were married. Did I ever tell in this particular forum the difference between Vivaha, Shadi and marriage? Have I? So Raj Prabhu says no, so I take it as no, because he's the one who's very attentive with notes, etc. And Madhuri is also saying no, so I believe it. Okay, I'll tell you now, what is it? What is marriage? Now, marriage is actually a bond. If you technically look at it, marriage is a bond between two people. Yes, it's a bond between two people so that, okay, we agree to stay together as long and until our sense gratification is taken care of. As soon as our sense gratification is hampered, we'll have divorce. This is marriage. Then what is Shadi? If you actually go to Urdu and find out the meaning of Shadi, Shadi means to have fun. Masti, mauj. Yes, to have fun. That is the meaning of Shadi. This word Shadi means to enjoy. But what happens to a person who enjoys? Ehi samsparshacha bhoga dukkhayonaya evate. Adyantavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddha. Everyone, every single living entity who has ever tried to enjoy with this material body, with the material senses, through the material objects, has experienced only one thing. What is that? You all can type it. We all have experience. Meanwhile, you type, I just go turn on the light. It's got a little cloudy here because it's about to pour. It's about to really pour down. So I just go turn on. Meanwhile, I need all of your responses. I need at least 30, 40 responses. Fast. I just come. Oh, it's become too bright. Anyway, too much bright is good. I'll come out of Brahman effulgence a little bit. Yes. Brahman effulgence emanates from Krishna's body, not from my body. So I'll reduce it a little bit. This is all in our control. Living entity is a minute controller, so I'll reduce. Okay, is this fine? Okay. Anduna ena kavayor iva dukkha dukkham. Yes, disappointment, temporary, sorrow. Yes, this is all our experience before coming to Bhakti, hai na? They try to enjoy tensions, misery, dukh which has start and end, miserable life ahead. What is the question? Well, you got the answer. Leave the question, you got the answer. Pain and misery, frustration. Yes, very true. Everyone's Everyone's saying, nobody said that, oh, what did you get enjoy? I got super duper enjoyment. Actually, this material world is like a 20 paisa circus. Okay, for those 2-cent circus. Call it 2 cents or 20 paisa. How many of you heard the story of a 20 paisa circus? Paisa is nothing but, how do we call it? 0.01 rupee. Now, I can talk in terms of Indian currency. So cent, okay, you can use it cent. How many of you heard this story? No? I'll explain. Wow, this is a brilliant story. You all should hear it. Once what happens, there's a big billboard which says 20 paisa circus. And everyone's fascinated. Wow, that means we get to see an entire circus in 20 paisa? Very much. So let's line up. So everyone lines up for paying their ticket. Yes? You're asking the wrong crowd. No, that's why I made it cents. I changed it to cents. Okay, not paisa. Paisa is penny, call it whatever, no problem. But understand the message. So then everyone stands up in a line, in a queue, okay? And the rule is you can watch the circus, but only one person gets to go at a time. At a time, only one person gets to go. And they agree, done. Well, only one person will go. And there's a guy who's waiting in the queue. And there's one person coming out from there who's watched the circus. He says, amazing, too good, awesome. Everybody in this world should have this experience. It's really good, man. Great. And he goes out. Then second person comes from there. Wow, amazing. I never had such kind of experience in my whole life. My whole of life, I was waiting for such an experience. Wow, enjoy, man, enjoy. You all have great time ahead. And this guy was and everybody was getting all the more excited and enthused. Wow, we're going to have an amazing experience here. Third person comes out and he's also sharing the same thing. Now this guy who's been waiting all along in this line, he gets his turn. So he gets in and he looks and there's nothing around. There's absolutely nothing. He says, where's the circus? So there's a huge 7-foot tall man, bald, no shikha, bald with a mustache. You can all visualize, big mustache. You want to watch 20 paisa circus? He gets a cane and he beats him in his back, his buttocks. Fat. You want to watch circus? No. Oh, he's getting beat. Oh, you want to watch circus? You want to watch circus for 20 paisa? You want to watch circus for 20 paisa? Oh, he's in pain. But now, remember, if he goes out in pain and if he reveals to everybody else in the queue, he will be called stupid. Why should I alone be stupid? Yes, why should I only be the stupid? So let me go and pretend the same way how everybody else has done. So he also acts. Oh, amazing experience. Please go on. Please, it's worth watching. And that's what he does. Whereas it's the devotees who speak the truth. So all of you as devotees, you admit it, that there is nothing called material enjoyment. Yes, material enjoyment was called by Srila Prabhupada as Goda Timba. Goda Timba. You know what is Goda Timba? Somebody who knows Bengali will know it. Goda means horse, Timba means egg. What is the color of a horse's egg? Who can tell me? Please, make it fast. What's the color of a horse's egg? Should I give you options? Yeah, I'll give you options. Is it white? Is it yellow? Is it black? Is it red? Is it brown? Is it purple? What's the color?
Horse is a mammal.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Horse is a mammal. Mammal doesn't lay eggs. That's what is precisely material enjoyment compared to in the Shastra. Goda Timba. Horse's egg, because horses don't lay eggs. Horse is a mammal. Similarly, there is nothing called material pleasure. There is nothing called material enjoyment. There is nothing called being happy in sense gratification. Just like there is nothing called Goda Timba, horse's egg. Right? Why did I tell you all this? Then what is Vivaha? And because people want to celebrate Shadi, they have Shadi.com. There's a person who has even opened Divorce.com. Yes, there's a person who's got it, and there's another person who opened Second Shadi.com. Yes, that means the second marriage. There's a shadi.com, then somebody opened second shadi.com. Right? And the divorce.com and the second shadi.com, they're all collab partners. Why? Because only when shadi happens, there can be divorce. Only when divorce happens, there can be second shadi, the second marriage, right? So shadi means enjoyment. But if you enter that particular responsibility as shadi, then what happens is talaq, talaq, talaq. Those who understood, very well and good. Yes, if you try to go for shadi, you get talaq, talaq, talaq. Hare Krishna. Shadi ka laddu. Raj Prabhu is reminding me of some another joke. How many of you eaten laddus? Random laddus, okay. How many of you have eaten specially motichur laddus with cashews, with almonds, with raisins, which are wonderfully prepared in ghee? I know today's Ekadashi, I'm not supposed to talk about this. Today's Ekadashi for me. I'm fasting. It's yummy. Yes. And this is something called Shadi ka laddu. Now this laddu looks very tempting. If I just bring it and show it to all of you. I have one, but today's Ekadashi, that's why I can't show you. I have one right now. I have a box full of such laddus. So if I were to, I just didn't say anything and you all started salivating. Prabhuji, don't talk about delicious food. Okay, I'm not giving you one. I was going to show you one if this was not Ekadashi. I was going to touch and show you all like this. And anybody wanting this, please turn on your videos. That's what I would have told, but I'm not doing that. Yes. So it is said that this is Shadi ka laddu, jo khaye wo pachta hai, jo nahi khaye wo bhi pachta hai, which means a person who eats it suffers. Why? Because it's so heavy. Oh, my stomach's paining. Oh, it's excruciating pain in my belly. I've eaten so much. I'm feeling so heavy. And jo nahi khaye wo bhi pachta hai, which means a person who doesn't eat, he also what happens? He also suffers. I wish I could just take a bite. I wish I could just lick it once. Oh, I wish I could just see it and touch it, feel it. But I'm not getting a chance for the Shadi ka laddu. And normally people use this example for not just Shadi ka laddu, for Shadi itself. Hare Krishna. For marriage itself. Shadi. Jo khaye pachta hai, nahi khaye pachta hai. That's how it is. So that's how this material world is made. Right? So then what is Vivaha? Vivaha is a sacred vow. It's a vow. It's a serious responsibility. Where two living entities, two conditioned souls want to come together, perform their prescribed duties in the society, towards each other, towards God, and head towards Golok Vrindavan Dham. And that Vivaha happens in a place which is called as Grihastha Ashram. Right? Grihastha Ashram. So that is something which is called Vivaha. And what Ajamila has done, Lambitam is actually Vivaha, not Shadi, not marriage. But still, what did he do? Visasarja, he gave up. He gave up his wife. In marriage, can someone please tell what are the vows of marriage? Because I have not done, I don't know. Any vows? What are the vows of marriage? Ayan, I'm not asking you. Even Ayan, you're my case. We are similar. We are in the same boat. Anyone else who can tell us what are the vows of marriage? You all taken, right? How many of you taken the vow of marriage? Saat janam saath rahenge. Wow. We'll stay together for 7 lives. God alone knows. No, that is not the marriage vow. God knows it definitely. But what is the vow? Take care. Yeah. We would stand by each other. We would hold each other's hands. We will never desert one another. We will search for supreme absolute truth together. The final vow. Yes. Share happiness and sorrows together. Very good. Sukh dukh mein saath denge. Yes. Love, honor, obey in sickness and in health. Yes. Exactly. Respect and care. Share everything till death. Do as apart. Perfect. So you all know it. Yes. But what is Ajamil doing here? What is he doing here? He is not just given up his Brahmanical culture. He even broke his vow of marriage. Now, this is something which is also very sinful. Very sinful. In fact, once what happened? Once there was a town. In this town, there was a brahmachari who came, and this brahmachari was beautifully singing. Was beautifully singing and beautifully humming the wonderful kirtans and tunes, playing his kartals, playing the mridang. And all the women, many women, not all, many women in that town, they got really attracted to this brahmachari's effulgence, to his personality, to his charisma, to his sweet singing. They gave up their husbands and they started walking behind this brahmachari. Yes, with the desire to serve, They gave up their husbands. And all the husbands went and complained to the king. They went and complained to the king that this brahmachari is actually a tantric. He's a black magician. He's a sorcerer. He's a person who has captivated the minds of our wives, enchanted them, and he's taking them away for his own enjoyment. Please catch him and behead this rascal. So they complained. So the king called the brahmachari. He summoned him to the court. And he was about to punish him. Without even listening to the side of the brahmachari, that is when all the women, they gather there and they testify. They speak that actually this brahmachari he's not even aware that we are all in love with him. He's not even aware of our attraction towards him. He's just a simple fellow doing his dharma. It is we who got attracted to him. So please forgive us. And if you want to punish anyone, please punish us. That time this brahmachari speaks. This brahmachari speaks that for a woman to break the vow of marriage with the husband and to go behind another man, the next destination is that of a rakshasi. You will become a demoness. Yes? And these are all the women who become rakshasis in Ashok Vatika who surround Mother Sita. Trijata and all the rakshasis, they were all the ones who ran after the brahmachari. Yes, they got that curse. So similarly, even if a man were to desert his wife and go like this, there is severe sin which is awaiting there. See, marriages are done in the heavens. Once done, done. Yes, done for good. Yes, that is what is your spouse. Karma. You have to stay and you have to continue serving. That's what is dharma. But he gave a visa sarja. This is also very sinful. And achirat papaha swairinya. Swairinya means swairinya is a prostitute. Swairinya. One who is a very, kakotish. What is kakotish? Anyone knows? Okay. A boy becomes flirty. A girl becomes kakotish. It's called kakotish. That kind of behavior. Swairinya is she's called a pumschali. No, not shyness. No. Not shyness. Shyness is an ornament. It's a wonderful ornament for a woman. Every woman should wear this ornament of shyness. It is good. But Swairinya means a very, very, a woman who runs behind any man. The approach which was taken by Shurpanakha. Yes, that is prostitute. Shurpanakha, Swairinya. And actually, association with such prostitute is dangerous. Very dangerous. Swairinya. You know the story of Bhagavat Mahatmya? The person for whom Bhagavatam is sung, his name is Dundukari. Now, Dundukari was a very, very sinful rascal. He used to steal. He used to murder. He used to have a relationship with Swairinya, prostitutes. He used to amass a lot of wealth. He was drunkard and he was having all bad qualities. And he used to maintain prostitutes. And how did Dundukari die? He had maintained 5-6 prostitutes, it is said. 5 to 6 prostitutes were there. So these prostitutes, they gossiped among themselves. We're saying, oh, this guy has amassed enough wealth. So what do we do? Why we should serve him? Why we should give him pleasure? Let's slit his throat and let's take all his wealth and run away. And that's what they did. They killed him. But because he was so sinful, he got a ghostly body. And then he went crying to his brother. You can call him brother, you can call him stepbrother. His name was Gokarna, who was a very pious soul. So he's the one who is a worshipper of Surya Narayan. And the Surya Dev, Surya Narayan, who tells Gokarna that you organize this Bhagavad Saptah, the 7 days of Bhagavatam. That is the only thing that is going to deliver you. So associating with a Swairinya, Pumschali, is not only dangerous for a person in this life, it is dangerous for a person even in the next life. This life, because if you're associating with a prostitute, it's very, very dangerous. So once there were a group of 4 to 5 men who had come to our temple, ISKCON temple, and they were crying, they were weeping and crying. So the Prabhuji was there, the devotee, the Brahmachari Prabhu. He made them sit and asked them, why are you crying? What happened? He was giving them an ear. And they said, actually, Prabhuji, we are all working in a restaurant behind the temple. Yes, there's a restaurant, we are working there. We are working as waiters. We are waiters. So one of our friends, waiters, was he was our friend. He was in our group. So once he used to always take money from us. And we used to ask him what happened. So he say, okay, I have an ailing mother, I have an ailing father. I need to get my sister married. So I need some money. I need to send to my village. So he kept taking money and he would never return it back. And we always were suspicious. What is he doing? One day we caught him stealing from the safe, Galla. In the safe, he was taking out money. So there were no CCTV cameras way back then. So we caught him red-handed and we said that we are going to report everything to the manager if you don't tell us what you're up to. So he said that, well, I'll tell you. He told them that I'm actually in a relationship with a prostitute. Yes. And she's very beautiful. She's very nice. She gives me pleasure, but she has a lot of demands. She wants a furnished home. She wants all the amenities and facilities. She wants jewelry and many things. She keeps asking. Her demands never get over. But I'm attached to her. So I cannot give her. So they said, we are going to complain. We are going to have you sued. He said, no, please don't do this. Please, you're all my friends. Please. Then they said, all right. If that is the case, then allow us also to enjoy with her. So these men started enjoying with her. And one day, one of them met with an accident and he was admitted in the hospital. And there was a profuse bleeding. And that's when they tested his blood, they realized that he's HIV positive. And then everybody got their blood samples tested and everybody was HIV positive. And these are the 4 people who were crying, who had come and they were crying that we are gone. That's what happens in association with the prostitute. But somehow, person doesn't realize. The person does never realize, and achirat papa. Very soon, see, it takes a lot. Achirat means very quickly. To build dharma, to build character, it takes a lot of time, energy, effort, consciousness. But to fall down to sinful life, achirat, very quickly. If you were to climb up a 100-story building, climb, not on the lift, how much time would it take? It would take a lot of time, right? It's a very painstaking endeavor. But to fall down from the 100-story building to the ground floor, how much time would it take? You can apply Newton's laws of motion. S is equal to ut plus half gt square. And calculate thus the time of how much time would it take. It would be really fast. Correct? Very quickly. But to climb up takes a lot of time. So similarly, to get into, suppose somebody wants to spoil their consciousness. It takes, to build a consciousness, you have to chant. We associate, we hear so much of Bhagavatam. To spoil consciousness, it will just take you one picture. That's it. One Google image, one WhatsApp forward, a 1 10-second video clip is sufficient to finish our consciousness, to get it spoiled. So we have to be very careful. What is prostitute? Actually, we are all living with a prostitute. That prostitute is our mind. Yes, that prostitute is the mind. So mind is actually made in such a way it is supposed to serve Guru and Krishna. But we are living with a prostitute who always wants to serve the paramours. That paramours can be in terms of taste buds, the tasty sense objects. What are the different paramours? Netflix, Insta, Facebook, malls, yes, candies, chocobars, phones. So these are all the paramours that this prostitute-like mind wants to serve. So I just told you with the story of Dundukari and many more stories, contemporary stories as well. that how dangerous it is to live with a prostitute or to be associated with a prostitute also. Similarly, yes, sleep, the bed, very true. So these are all the different paramours which the mind loves. Mind loves. She doesn't love to serve. Good mind is not a chaste. Mind is asati. So, and we are living with the mind always. Internet, prajalpa. Very true. More paramours are coming. So many paramours. So mind is a prostitute who has many, many paramours. And she always loves to hang out. And that will kill the husband, who's the soul. Soul is the husband. So the state of a conditioned living entity is that of a man who's a very simple, poor, helpless being who has got married somehow by will of providence. He has married a prostitute. And this prostitute openly has affairs with so many dozens and dozens of people. Yes. Then why is mind said to be in Sattva Guna? Yes, mind is in Sattva because all it has to do is simple function of owing to the simplicity in function, Sankalp and Vikalp. Sankalp and Vikalp. The function is very simple. But because the mind has been contaminated with the Ashuddha Chetana, which is called as Chitta, the contaminated consciousness, because of which, whenever we talk about the mind, we talk about the Antakaran, the entire subtle body. It is not just the mind. It's the entire subtle body, the false ego. Right? So mind is Krishna's material energy, definitely. But material energy of Krishna is not meant to be engaged in another material energy. Yes? The material energy should not be engaged in service of another material energy, right? The material energy also should be employed in Krishna's service and thus converted to spiritual energy. So mind is called in Sattva Guna because of its simplicity in functioning, Sankalp, Vikalp. On the other hand, intelligence is complicated. There's planning, thinking, so many things. And the senses are dull and inert, so they are in ignorance. So because of the functioning, it's considered to be in goodness. Yeah. Achirat Papa, very quickly, he allowed the prostitute to convert himself into what? Into a sinful living being. Sinful living being. A few 10 verses before, you would hear the glories of Ajamil. And just 10 verses later, we find that Ajamil has become a Papa personified. Papaha. Why? Swairinya. Swairinya. That's what the living entity has done. Can I tell you a story? I need some yes, some thumbs up, some reactions. Only then I will tell. Okay. I think I've told this story, but it's very relevant. It's a very relevant story, so I'll tell you. I've told this before. So once there was a man. This man had 4 wives. Yeah. This man with the 4 wives story. I've told it before in this forum, as far as I remember. Raj Prabhu? Man with 4 wives? No. Okay. He will say no, so that I continue. Okay, fine.
You told before.
Yeah, I've told. I'll make it quick then. So what has happened is this man, he had 4 wives. So one wife, the first wife he had, this is the wife he would give her dresses, jewelries, finest of foods, and all pleasures that he wants. The first wife. The second wife. The second wife is the wife he would have, with whom he would always carry with him, wherever he goes. Wherever he goes, his second wife will always be with him. Yes. And the second wife was the one through whom he would show his influence to other people. He would show off. He would show her off. Yeah, see, my wife. So great. The third wife is the wife with whom he would discuss confidential subject matters. He would like to pour out his heart. He would like to share out his heart. What are his innermost feelings? He would do that with the third wife. And yet one more wife, his fourth wife, whom he completely neglected. In fact, he didn't even consider her to be his own wife. He just, she doesn't exist for me. I don't care. I don't care if you're married. Nothing. I don't care her. In fact, I don't talk about her. I don't discuss her. I've removed her out of the equation completely. I only have 3 wives, technically speaking. So one day he got a very profuse pain in his core. Yes, his core was paining. His abdomen was paining. So he went to a doctor. The doctor introspected, analyzed, and then he declared that, my dear friend, I hope your relatives are with you. said, Doctor, why are you saying this? I hope you'll be taken care of by loved and dear ones. He said, why are you saying this? I would like to tell you that you got cancer. Yes. I said, come on, cancer can be cured. He said, no, you're in the last stage, incurable cancer. And he was so very deeply pained. He was so very deeply pained. And then he went, first he remembered his first wife. He went to his first wife and said, please, I want to tell you that I'm going to die. I'm so much in pain and agony. I'm going to die. And the first wife said, so what? So what? Doesn't make any difference to me. Doesn't make absolutely any difference to me. And he was shocked. The wife whom he had fed, the wife whom he had dressed, the wife whom he had decorated, she says, doesn't make any difference. He said, okay, all right, I have two more options. He goes to his second wife. And he tells her that I've always been carrying you with me. I've been moving around with you. I've been showing you off. But I like to tell you that I'm going to die today. She started laughing. You die today and tomorrow I'll become somebody else's. How nice. My God. He got so pained. He said, my third wife is my only hope. He went to his third wife and he said that I'm going to die. He said, all right, I'll be there by your side, but I'm not actually. I'm going to be in my own world. When you die, well, I'll pretend as though I'm crying. I'll shed a tear or two. And after shedding those tears, I'll just mind my own business after that. Right? I may cry. I may come till the burial ground or maybe till the gate. And after that, depends on my mood. Huh? And after that, I'll carry on with my own business. He was shattered. He was completely heartbroken. And he began to cry and weep. And finally, he decided, well, I have to die alone now. I'll be dying as a loner. But before I leave, let me at least go and beg forgiveness with a genuine heart to the fourth wife whom I have never considered. So let me go to her and beg forgiveness. So first of all, I would like to beg forgiveness from all of you because my time is up. And we have not even started the purport. My God, what to do? I need instructions from all. Whatever you instruct, I'll follow.
Do you have time, Prabhu?
Fortunately, yes.
Okay, then go ahead.
Okay. You will not curse me, right? All of you?
No.
Thank you. You will bless me now? Then I will continue.
Yes.
Thank you. So, he went to her and he just wept and cried and he was genuinely, I don't expect anything from you because I never did anything for you. But please, I'm so sorry. Forgive me. So forgive me for all that neglect that I've shown you. Because worse than chastisement, shouting, yelling is neglect. And I've given that to you. Please forgive me. I'm so sorry. And the fourth wife, she says, please don't cry. Please be assured, even if nobody is there with you, I will always be there with you. And no matter wherever you take birth, I will always be by your side, being your wife and supporting you. And this fellow starts crying and oozing and it's painful. In the fag end of my life, I realized that the one with whom I spent my time, energy, effort, and everything, they've all ditched me. They dumped me. And they're in their own world. But the one who genuinely loves me, I never gave time to that person. And you know who's this person? This person is all of us. This is not anybody else's story. This is our story. The first wife. Can you guess who is the first wife? We all have 4 wives. My God, even a brahmachari has 4 wives. I never thought. Many people still ask me. Still they ask. Just today somebody asked me, are you married? I was like, yeah, I have 4 wives. I should have told. Would have got. Yes, the first one is our body. The first wife is the body. Yes, with whom a person dresses, decorates, feeds. But this body will make no difference to the body because the body is dead actually. Who is the second wife?
Wealth.
Yes. The second wife is the wealth. Now you die, it will become somebody else's. And who is the third wife?
Relatives.
Yes, the relatives and friends. They will cry tears. I have gone to so many shok sabhas. What do you call shok sabhas in English technically? There's no word for that, right? Morning ceremonies. Morning. We're celebrating the morning. And they call us for singing kirtan, especially sad kirtan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we sing that. And they cry even more. But 99.9% of my experience is when people just feel that they're sad. It's all feeling. Action. One fellow, some people do even overacting. You know what's overacting? Ah! Papa! Papa, chala gaya! Oh, I'm gone now. What will I do now? No tears coming out. They cry like that. There's no tears coming out. It's not from the heart. It's just acting. Maximum. There's no genuine emotions left in Kali Yuga. Yes? Third wife is the relatives. And then after that, hello? Yeah. Oh, very nice. Then again, they're again trying to cry. But who's the fourth wife?
Soul.
Super soul.
Super
Is
soul.
Paramatma. Is Paramatma. Wife Paramatma. So Paramatma is compared to that young, beautiful, chaste wife whose company we give up to be with the prostitute. And thus we become sinful. Krishna bhuliya jiva anadir bahirmukha tateva mada dietara samsara dukha. And being with this prostitute, one only suffers. Nowhere it is spoken that Ajamil was happy with this prostitute. Read, please. We are going to, tomorrow's speakers will definitely tell you more about this. But nowhere. In fact, he was happy with the chaste wife. The chaste wife. It was a happy life going on. But the prostitute, no. So similarly, the whims of the mind are never going to give pleasure or happiness to anybody. When follows the whims of the mind, one is never going to be happy. On the other hand, when you follow the instructions of Krishna, although it may be painful. Yes, religious life is painful. Spiritual life is painful. Prabhupada said spiritual life is difficult, but material life is impossible. Spiritual life is difficult, but material life is impossible. Impossible. Yes, and this is what happened to Ajamil. So let us not become that Ajamil. We know that we have a chaste, young, beautiful, dutiful wife, Paramatma. And let's not neglect that particular wife who's just standing with open hands, just waiting and watching. When will this person turn to me? When will this person look at me? When will this person listen to me? Just waiting. Yeah. And that is why Gauranga Mahaprabhu has come. He has come with this song. We'll sing it together. We'll sing it fast. And then we will just quickly glance through the purport. You cannot read the meaning parallelly. Jiva jago, Gaura chanda bole, Gota nidra jao maya, Pishachira kole, Bajibo bolia ese, Samsara bitare, Bulia rohile tumi, Avidyar bhare, Tomare loite ami, Oinu avtara, Ami bina bandhuara, Ke ache tomara, Kenichi aushadi maya, Nashibaro lagi, Adinama maha mantra, Lao tumi magi, Bhakti vinoda prabhu, Charane pariya, Sei hari nama mantra, Loilo magiya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Thakur Bhakti Vinod ki Jai. This is what happens. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu has come. Wake up, wake up. Look at your wife. Ami bina bandhu ar kya che tumaru. Look at me, I am your friend. She's come to remind us. We have come to remind us. Don't go behind that prostitute like mind. Was always in for the paramours. Yes, but please
please come to Krishna. We'll just read the purport. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Customarily, everyone is eligible to inherit his father's property, and Azamil also inherited the money of his father. But what did he do with the money? Instead of engaging the money in the service of Krishna, he engaged it in the service of a prostitute. Therefore, he was condemned and was punishable by Yamaraj. How did this happen? He was victimized by the dangerous, lustful glance of a prostitute. Hare Krishna. Now, we as brahmacharis, I'll just tell you something open. This is a brahmachari talk. But anyway, I'd like to share it with all of you. You're all my family. I can share very openly. We are all taught to not look into the eyes of a woman. Yes, there's a training we get. Because that is where the lust will get injected in your system. You know, our Guru Maharaj tells, no, don't. You can look here, but never into the eyes. Yes, that is where the lust will get injected into the system. For a man, the eyes are the weakness. For a woman, the ears are the weakness. Yes, that's a weakness for a woman, the ears. They hear something sweet, somebody's sweet talker, somebody's very talking very politely, charismatically, gentlemanly way. Wow, that's very impressive. Good kirtaniya, good singer. Wow, that's very impressive. For a man looks at the lustful glance of a woman, finished. So what should this person do? Look at the sidelong glance of Krishna. And that is why darshan is very important. Yes. Yes, so darshan of the Lord we every day take. We take the darshan. What do? We absorb. The eyes are like cup. Pana patram mukham drishah. Bahavo lokapalanam saranganam. Shriyo nivasa yasyuru. Pana patram mukham drishah. Bahavo lokapalanam saranganam padambajam. Bhagavatam says this. Drink the beauty of Krishna with your eyes. Once we drink the beauty of Krishna with our eyes, we will not be attracted to anything material. No, that's not there. Nothing material will be attractive, nothing more beautiful than that. Once we drink the beauty of Krishna with our eyes. Another thing, lesson, just a lesson for all of us, insight for all of us. Now there is absolutely, I thought of taking Prabhupada Katha, but the time went so fast. What to do? But I'll just end with one Prabhupada quote. Just like here, there's a talk about the father's property. Yes, the father's property. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada has left us with a very wonderful property in terms of his books, beautiful temples, beautiful deities, very inspiring disciples as examples. These are all the treasures that we have got. Now, most unfortunate is a person who, despite receiving all these treasures, yes, despite receiving all these treasures, is still very, very loose, inattentive, distracted in bhakti. Hrideham adhyam sulabham sudurlabham plavam sukalpam guru karanadharam maya anukulena labhasvatiritam puman bhavam dhims na taretsa atmaha. So despite receiving all this wonderful treasure of Father, if we are engaging it somewhere else, we're taking prasad of Krishna and engaging our energy rather than Guru's service, Krishna's service. We are engaging in the service of Maya. There is nothing that such a person is actually a person who's committing suicide. Puman bhavabdims na taretsa atmaha. Such a person is a killer of the soul. Killer of the soul. That's what the Shastras call him. Right? So let us not be that. Prabhupada has given us this beautiful treasure. In fact, Srila Prabhupada, he is told, if you actually cannot expand my movement, at least maintain it. Maintain what I've given you, Prabhupada said in one letter. Yes. And Prabhupada made one more profound statement. It's the duty of not just every Krishna conscious devotee, but it's actually the duty of every human being, Prabhupada writes, to preach Krishna consciousness. And if we are not doing this, then definitely the prostitute-like mind is going to get attracted to other things. Because this preaching of Krishna consciousness is actually the real Bhavananda. Yes. When Bhavanand Prabhu got his name, Bhavanand, everyone started teaching, hey, Bhavanand, you're enjoying in material world. When he went to Prabhupada, you're teasing me. You gave me the name Bhavanand. Prabhupada said, yes, Bhavanand means Is it Bhavanand? I said, not Bhavanand. I said, Bhavanand. The only pleasure in material world is to preach this Krishna consciousness. And Krishna says, Nacha tasman manusheshu kashinne priyakrittama. Bhavita nachame tasman anya priyataro bhuvihi. There is nobody who will be more dear to me, my dear devotee, than one who preaches this message of Krishna consciousness. So let us all preach this message of Krishna consciousness as much as possible. Really last, and end take home message. After this, I'm going to shut myself up. Just like a lady never forgets to decorate and dress herself. Yes, she may have a lot of engagements, household engagement, occupational engagement, engagement with children, but the lady will never ever forget to decorate herself. Similarly, every devotee in ISKCON should never forget to chant 16 rounds and distribute Prabhupada books. This is something we should not. This is actually the decoration for a devotee. Swalinkritam. This is what Prabhupada said. So this was some Prabhupada. I planned a list of, what I did is, I started doing, I need all of your blessings, is that I've started to categorize Prabhupada's pastimes, different. Prabhupada's sweetness, Prabhupada's anger, Prabhupada's tolerant nature, Prabhupada's humor, Prabhupada's witty nature. So like the different categories, and I'm making a list of many, many pastimes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 108, like that. So I'm making it, and I would like to every day remember some pastime and keep including. I need all of your prayers for that. So I thought of just giving you all a glimpse of some genres which I've prepared, but I guess today is not the day for that. So we will definitely call it a day today. And thank you all very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthanath Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. And I really, from the bottom of my heart, beg forgiveness for going overboard an extra time. You all made me do so, because all of you are so attentive and sincere. This happened. So I'm so sorry once again. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. We are really happy to have you for more time. So it was very nice to hear the katha, so many stories, references. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. It's a totally very attentive, interesting class. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Yeah, there is some hand raise. You will be able to take questions, Prabhuji, now.
I will take 2 questions.
Okay. Yeah, Pooja Arora Mataji, you can ask your question.
Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
This is such a wonderful class, as usual. And Prabhuji, could you please tell me that what about those devotees who are by default get already married?
Okay, as for what was your question? Those who are devotees who are already married?
I mean, is there any kind of instructions, मतलब जिनकी already शादी हो चुकी है, जो गलती कर लिए हैं, अब उनके लिए क्या instructions है ताकि वो भक्ति ठीक से कर पाए?
Once again, sorry, there was a truck that passed by.
प्रभु जी, मेरे कहने का मतलब ये है जो already married हैं, I mean जिनकी शादी को
उनको क्या? This Insta Bhagavatam is for everyone. सबके लिए
Instructions क्या हैं प्रभु जी?
Instruction is be satisfied with your partner.
Yes.
And do your bhakti. Focus. Yes, between every couple, there has to be divine couple. Between every couple, there has to be divine couple, Radha Krishna. So we should never think that we are Swami and Swaminis of this house, Grihastha, householder. No, this house belongs to Radha Krishna.
Sorry to interrupt you, but if the husband, what case, Prabhuji, I want to ask you.
If the husband is not Krishna conscious, you have to create inspiring Sangha around the husband so that he understands or at least values Krishna consciousness. I think you asked me this question already once. I remember.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you asked me this question and I have told you, and I will not change my answer because that is the answer. You have to get devotees to home who can inspire your husband. If your husband is a businessman, get devotees who are businessmen or businesswomen and let them inspire. If your husband is a doctor, get that kind of devotee from that profession whom husband can relate to and inspire that person. Inspire your husband. At least he should come to a point where he supports you, doesn't pull your leg. He doesn't become a leg puller in bhakti. This much at least. So try to do that. That will only happen through Sangha, nothing else. Because husband will not become Krishna conscious through us. It's very, very difficult and hard to convince our own parents, spouse, or children sometimes. Yeah, very difficult. We need an external inspiration. Okay, thank you. Please, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, you're muted.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Okay.
Prabhuji, yeah, in between, I just want to clarify while you were talking, you were telling for men, they have to engage the eyes in the seeing the beauty of the Lord. For women, the problem is ears. Engage in katha or again anything. Katha is
Harikatha.
again we have.
Harikatha. So now one may say that, okay, Harikatha, okay, sometimes we may get attracted to the speaker of Harikatha.
Yeah.
You have to get... So the person, we hear Harikatha and we are attracted to that person only who is giving Harikatha. What about that? Yes. Yeah. Then what do we do? So this is where it is very, very important for a woman getting trained in chastity. Yes, chastity. Serving the husband menially. This menial service towards the husband should never stop. That seva bhav, because when Mataji serves the husband in a menial manner, that develops the attachment. And then there is no problem in hearing Harikatha from any speaker. It doesn't matter. Because one becomes fixed. That service gives love in the heart. Both husband and wife are supposed to love each other. Yes. So that is supposed to, I'm saying supposed to. It happens. So that love will come through service. Genuine service. And Harikatha ears, I understand the point. You're hearing and that is a weakness, and that's what we get attracted to the speaker. Then what about that? See, if the attraction is for the katha, then there is no problem. You have to understand what is the attraction for. What is it that you're attracted to? You're attracted and inspired in your bhakti for the message or the style, the presentation. It can be both. There is no problem. But if it's only the externals, it's only the presentation and not the representation, then there is a problem. That doesn't mean that we stop hearing. No, that's not the point. That's not the point. And when I referred to speaking, I referred to a very pleasing talker, somebody who talks in a very pleasing, soothing manner, in a cajoling manner, very nicely. That is something. And we get attracted to devotees in general, definitely. Why not? Krishna is all attractive and devotees are having that spark of that opulence. We do. But getting attracted in a lustful manner, that is something that is condemned in Shastras. Yeah. And giving up the Sri Dharma, that is condemned. So I was telling you, these ladies, they also got attracted to the man and they didn't want to enjoy him sexually or something. No. They wanted to be with that person, to serve that person. They got genuinely attracted to serve. They were wanting to hear more in that sense. But they did it without consultation of the pati. Or what they could have done in such a case, they could have gone and reported to the husband, there's a beautiful, very wonderful brahmachari. Can he come to our home to do kirtans? And you should invite him. Then there was no problem with that. Got the point? No? So that is the message. Giving up Sri Dharma and getting attracted was the mistake. Visasarja. That word Visasarja came. Na? Ajamil also giving up. So in that context, I had spoken this. Yeah.
The reading also comes under hearing, Prabhuji?
Well, in Sanskrit or even in Bhagavatam, there's a difference between hearing and reading. Tat Shrunvan Supatan Vicharana Paro. Shrunvan and Patan are given two different, there are two different terminologies, they're two different processes. But in our case, if we are reading, it's equivalent to hearing from Prabhupada for us, because we read Prabhupada books. But when it comes to reading in general, there's a difference. There's obviously a difference. So when you read, you get Krishna conscious information. You get Krishna conscious knowledge. But when we hear, we also get a deeper understanding, and we are also associating with a thorough conviction of the personality. Hearing is much more powerful. It's easier also. Yeah.
You mean to tell Prabhupada lecture hearing and Prabhupada lecture reading is difference?
I felt a difference. Yes, I felt a difference.
Okay.
I felt a difference. I felt a great difference. That's why we should not. Like, so one habit that I've started off late, it's been about a couple of weeks, is to get up and play the Prabhupada lecture immediately. So I wake up with Prabhupada. Yes, that is one of the gifts that I offer to Prabhupada on Vyas Puja also. I tried it for 2 weeks, it's working out. So Prabhupada, this gift will be there for you, that I will always wake up with your lecture. I get up, I'm getting ready, I'll always be with your lecture, I'll be with you. And I read Prabhupada books, there's a big difference. I'm feeling a difference. I need both.
But Prabhu, hearing is more easier than reading. Reading is little boring, but hearing it's more like the laddu made and to eat.
See, ultimately, it's you have to chew. Whether you're being fed in the mouth or you yourself are picking up the grains and eating. The Mananam is very important. Mananam is the contemplation that we do. Whether we hear and contemplate, whether you read and contemplate. That's up to us. Some people, to be very frank, I love to read more than hear. Very frank. I love reading more than hearing. If somebody would say hearing Prabhupada lecture, reading Prabhupada, I would go for reading Prabhupada. Some people, for them, the inclination is different. But both of these two things, they give about a different result. They do. In the long run, you will see a difference.
But Prabhu, reading and hearing, unless you write and then understand, it will not come in the head. I find whether you read or whether you hear, you have to make notes and then tell to 10 people, then only you get the proper memory of what Prabhupada quoted.
Definitely. You need to have a take-home point. That's what normally I do. After my classes, when I train my people, my students, I tell them, recollect points, please share points. So at least that is one point, one take-home point you'll always remember. That's what happens.
Thank you so much.
Maria, there are so many devotees who have lifted their hands like Gauranga Mahaprabhu. 1, 2, 3, 4, my God.
Would you like to take one question, Prabhuji, or will it? Yes.
I can't say. Okay. We'll take questions. Okay, but only this 4, and we'll make it quick.
Yes.
I don't want to displease this devotee. Only this 4, last 4.
Prahladanand Prabhuji, you can quickly ask your question.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam first of all, and
What did
I
I
have just to start with I like it. Kim vidyaya kim tapsa kim gnatena srutena va kim viviktena maunena stribhir yasya manorutam. Right. So the woman is in the head of the man. Right. As soon as the first contact starts, the woman is in the head. There is no way out. You can leave her, but you can do her one thing, that you can make her Krishna conscious, and do Bhagavan Krishna's bhakti like that. So that was one thing which I have realized in my life. Second thing was about Ajamil became victim of a woman because he didn't have Guru Asray. That's what I thought. And in this book, where Giriraj Swami says, I'll build you a temple. He has written a very nice book.
I'm reading that. I'm slowly munching and ruminating and reading that book.
In that, Giriraj Swami says that Mr. Nair is the one who made him sit next to the prostitute in the ambassador car at big back seat. And the woman was scratching his thighs, Giriraj Swami's thighs. And he says that I was a young man and my emotions started going so high. Right? What prevented him there? He writes very clearly that the second thought came to me, what will Prabhupada think? All right? And then immediately he turned back his mind. He said, nothing doing with this woman. That woman again tried after some weeks going to Jude. And, so the influence of Prabhupada is such a great influence. Any great devotee, if you take his shelter and stick to him, it will prevent you from all these dangers of Maya. That's what I feel. And,
No, you're right, Prabhu, very right. But in what context I spoke is this entire pastime. His entire pastime of Ajamil is to show the glory of the holy name.
That's right. I agree.
So from that point of view, I was saying that is the one thing that he didn't have. Right. He didn't chant the holy name.
Right.
He did not chant. He remembered shlokas. He probably remembered many more things, but he did not chant the holy name. On the other hand, when he chanted the holy name, he was saved from Hemamapash.
That's right.
So what he did not have is chanting. And who is a Vaishnava? Mahaprabhu said he was not a devotee. Why I said he was not a devotee? Because who is Vaishnava? Vaishnava K. Mahaprabhu said one who chants Krishna's name. Who is Vaishnava? One who chants Krishna's name constantly. Who is Vaishnava? Seeing upon whom one gets inspiration to chant. He's a Vaishnava. So that one qualification was not given. Yes, so he
Thank you
didn't
very
take
much.
shelter of the holy name.
Thank you
That
very much.
entire pastoral is for that only. That's nice. And definitely, as you rightly said, all the hippies, they were able to keep all bad habits at bay because they only meditated on Prabhupada's pleasure. What will Prabhupada think? But even taking, okay, what will Prabhupada think? But not chanting the holy name. There were so many of them who left the movement after Prabhupada left.
Right.
So we want to care for Prabhupada's pleasure. At the same time, we don't take shelter of the process that Prabhupada gave us. Yes. Then again, that's a problem. So we need to have both.
Yeah.
In the Guru Nishtha, definitely. That's why in the Amanitvam, Madam-vitvam, Ahimsa Sham, there is Acharya Upasanam. At the same time, there is what? Mai Chananya Yogena Bhakti Ravya Vicharini. That is also important. And Prabhupada says this is the main. One may say, Prabhuji, Guru Upasana is main. No. Bhakti is main. Prabhupada says this is main.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Swamini Gopi Mataji, you can please ask your question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranamam, all grace to Srila Prabhupada.
Yes.
Prabhuji, thanks. Your class is so wonderful, Prabhuji. Thanks for the wonderful class. Prabhuji, my question is, how do we serve the Paramatma? Because we can't see the Paramatma, so how do we serve him?
Yes. Yes. Nice question. You have developed a desire to serve Paramatma. There are two ways you can serve Paramatma. The same Paramatma who is in all of our hearts has left for us beautiful and amazing Bhagavad Gita. So if you want to know what Paramatma wants from us, we can just open the Bhagavad Gita and read. Number two, the Paramatma is Chaitya Guru. If we read the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Chaitya Guru Paramatma has expanded externally as Diksha and Shiksha Guru. Yes. Chaitya Guru expands as Diksha and Shiksha Guru. So if you don't want to know how to please Paramatma, we just go and ask the authority whom we are serving. The Guru we are serving, the spiritual master. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, yasya prasadam nagati kutopi. And we just keep asking, regularly we take, are you pleased with me? And when you ask this, are you pleased with me? And Guru says, yes, I am very much pleased with you. Then the Paramatma is also pleased with us. Is it okay?
Guru is not in our heart, right, Prabhuji?
Guru is not in our heart, but Guru is there. He is the Paramatma without. Paramatma's external manifestation of mercy. The spiritual master. Who is approachable.
So by serving Guru, it's equal to serving the Paramatma.
Yes, yasya prasadat bhagavat prasadam. Simple. Every day we recite that. Right?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
And if Guru is not approachable, well, there is Shiksha Guru. Shiksha Guru is not approachable, there is an authority whom Shiksha Guru is appointed. So we serve. Thank you. Two more to go.
Yeah, Deepika Mataji, you can ask your question.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah. Prabhuji, my question is in 7th chapter. Krishna says, Ichha Dvesha Samuttena, right? Because we desire to enjoy separately, we were envious, so we've come here. Then in the 8th chapter, the Vedantas say that one who returns to the supreme abode never comes down.
That's the
right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then Prabhupada ji even says, going back to Godhead. So, like,
yes.
Is it that we have never reached the spiritual sky? I mean, I don't know if my question is, you have understood,
no
but I'm not able to.
No problem. The same question was asked last time by, I think, His Grace Prahladanand Prabhu, also similar one. So I told him to refer to our original, because this is a very deep discussion. We can't discuss this in 5 minutes. So there's a book called Our Original Position. If you want that book, one of the devotees even posted the link. Our Original Position, it's a thing from the Veda base. The Veda base has the point number 32. So their BBD publication is, these are complete compilation of what Prabhupada speaks about Jiva Fall. So please read that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Because it's not a 5-minute discussion. It will take classes, and even I'm not a qualified authority to speak on this. There are big Maharajas who give presentation on this. I'm a very small person. So you please read that. It's a concept which we cannot comprehend. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. At last, I ask Bhakti Prada Champaka Mataji, you can ask your question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Very
nice lecture, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Prabhuji, my question is, Prabhuji, like I heard in some of the class that when a person leaves the body, the soul has to travel. So in travel, there are different places, the soul will see different things. So when Guru takes the soul, this soul will hear some sounds, might be like Gandharva singing, and because he should not see, some cover is given like horse cap kind of, so that he will not see, the soul will not see. So like they sing very beautifully. Like if the soul has taken the body of a woman, might be the soul will get attracted to the singing of Gandharvas, and Gandharvas, they sing about the Lord's glories. This is one question, Prabhuji. So how to because these are glories, but still they are Gandharvas. It is not Golok, right? If the soul is standing there,
when you hear the, I got your question. When you are hearing the holy name, are you remembering the person or you're remembering Krishna? When you're hearing the sound, are you remembering Krishna's qualities or that person's qualities?
Krishna.
Are you, when you're hearing the spiritual sound vibration, are we remembering the form of that person or Krishna's form? If your asakti to Krishna is developed, that's called asakti. Stage of asakti, Krishna Chakravarti Thakur gives Madhurya Kandamani different stages. Though one stage below bhava is called asakti. Asakti is a stage where you are completely attached to Krishna and you don't want anything else but Krishna. At that particular stage, even when you hear, now Mahaprabhu, look at Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu was hearing the bhajan of a woman, but he was remembering Krishna. And he wanted to go and thank that devotee for singing such a beautiful bhajan. Like, thank you, please sing more. He was running. And that's when his personal servant Govinda said, it's a woman. And Mahaprabhu immediately came to external consciousness. You know this pastime, right?
Yes,
correct? So Mahaprabhu was not getting fascinated by that female beauty or that woman. Mahaprabhu was remembering Krishna. So at that, we have to reach that particular stage beyond Nishtha, wherein we are attracted to Krishna's name. When we are not singing the Hare Krishna Maha mantra for the purpose of enjoying our own senses. No, we sing to give pleasure to Krishna's senses. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when he was leaving this mortal world, was entering Nitya Leela, he invited, but there was a devotee, a very sweet Bengali singer singing a kirtan. He said, stop. He called another devotee who was very elevated in consciousness. And he was not a good singer. He told, you sing. And he was relishing. Even in the stages of Ruchi, there are two stages. If you read Chakravarti Pad's book, the first stage of Ruchi is called as a stage where the externals matter. Yes, we are attracted to Krishna Katha when the speaker is dynamic. Speaker gives good example. Speaker is having good presentation skills. Then we are attracted to Krishna Katha. When the speaker is a little monotonous in his tone, we also are collapse. Yes, we are attracted to kirtans only when the singer sings beautifully, melodiously, in tempo, in complete harmony, in sync. If the singer is going off, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, and there's no music, there's no rhythm, we are also not attracted. That is a lower level of Ruchi. On the other hand, we will reach a stage of Ruchi where the externals, who is singing, yes, how the person is singing doesn't matter. It's about Krishna. Wow, we are attracted. As stage of Asakti, we are attached to only Krishna. We remember Krishna's name, fame, qualities, pastimes, and entourage when we hear about Krishna.
Yes.
And not that person.
Yes.
Yes, we develop gratitude for that person. We have gratitude, but we remember Krishna.
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, thank you very much, Prabhuji, for such a nice, beautiful answer. Prabhuji, and one more question is, can you please tell me the shloka which you have given for Rukmini? She was telling Krishna. Can you please give me? Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
I'm just checking. I have it's a 10.52 point what I'll just say. Sorry, I'm not so well read in Bhagavatam. It's 10th canto 52nd chapter. But I'm still willing. Mukunda Mahati Kula got it. 10:50 to 38. Okay, 10:50 to 38. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you so much. Finally, one small thing, Prabhuji. You were telling when we have to hear the katha instead of the person, but we also feel that depending on the person's realization, it makes transformation in the heart of the people who hears. So we choose sometimes the realized souls, Maharaj's lecture. So in that way, the speaker also is matter.
It matters.
In addition to the katha.
Definitely it matters. Now we would like to hear Krishna Katha from realized souls as far as possible. But when, see, that is our personal choice. We all have a choice to hear. But when it comes to now the forum, now whoever is the speaker, now I'm a boring speaker and I've been put by the forum, by the way of Guru Parampara. I'm put here on the Vyasasan to speak to all of you. Right? So now and many devotees have come. They came to hear even a boring guy like me. Why? Because they respect the Bhagavatam form. Yes, they respect the Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, this is the ruchi that we want to develop, the second. And as you rightly said, yes, we want more and more realization. So when it comes to Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya, there are two things. Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya is one thing is about the forum, like we are a community. So the community Bhakti Sangha Japa is arranging a speaker to serve the audience. Now, since this community is arranged a speaker to serve, I'm here. Because now I have to hear from this person, whether I like it or not. Because listening to Bhagavatam is the prescribed principle for everyone. But when it comes to our own personal time, now I have my personal time. Now we can listen to our favorite speakers. There's no problem. Because why favorite? Again, why favorite? Is it because of the jokes? Is it because of the funny language? Is it because of, oh, I like the tone, etc., etc.? No. Is it because I become Krishna conscious? So we need, that is something we have to introspect and analyze ourselves. Nobody else can comment. Only we will know this. Nobody else. Right? So that you have to take care. That is an internal answer. We have. You wake up us and give taste of Bhagavatam.
Prabhuji, this is Dhanashri. You just said that it is very difficult to convince the men of the house to become Krishna conscious, right? Yeah. I had a husband, rather, means he was like that. He was hot-headed and he just wouldn't believe in visiting temples or anything. Today, if you do you understand Marathi? Do you understand Marathi?
Yeah. That is one of the introductions which Kifri Mataji gave.
Yeah. So today he not only has become Krishna conscious, he not only visits temples, but he's become what you call Santha Vahate Krishna Mai.
खूप छान. ते सगळी तुमचीच कृपा आहे. ती कृपा नसती तर ते झाले नसते. तुमची प्रार्थना, तुमची साधना आहे, तुमची कृपा आहे.
Yeah, he has. I used to just talk to Krishna and tell him that somehow convert this man to your path. Just make him walk on your path. I don't want anything else, So I had a very.
Prayers worked. Prayers are powerful.
I had a very a very rural approach to Krishna earlier. I couldn't read or I cannot read Marathi. So learning Sanskrit was a big challenge and understanding it, of course. But at the same time, it was an uphill task, So I started saying things like, okay, Krishna, hold my hand. I'm making the sabzi for you. Or, okay, Krishna, get my husband a taxi so that he doesn't scream and shout when he gets late. I really had a very rural approach to Krishna, and that's how I have kind of converted. I'll just share a small experience if you have the time, but just 2 minutes. My son is in the US and he's a PhD and he's also a green card holder, and I had a tough time getting a wife for him. I must have spoken to at least 500 parents, sharing my know-how to them, and then trying to remember theirs also. So it was a real uphill task, and I was just he was just not happy to get. He wanted somebody who was educated. He wanted somebody who was, and he's pretty good looking. So I used to always wonder, ki kya problem hai? He's like educated, good looking, comes from a good family. Then what is the problem? So after about 2 years, I just gave up. And my husband started screaming that, what are you doing? You're not even looking, you're paying so much money and then you're not getting all this. So finally I said, Krishna, tu tuji mahima dakho, tu manto na tuji mahima hai, mahima hai, mahima hai. So you start showing your magic. And now you won't believe, last May, my son got married and my daughter-in-law's name is Mahima.
Oh, oh. Very nice. Nice to hear Lord's Mahima and about your Mahima.
My daughter-in-law is a doctor from US only. She's a US citizen, but she also is a Krishna conscious person. Very, very
amazing.
She loves Krishna. She has this beautiful deity of Radha Krishna, a little vigraha she's got, and she just worships him day in and day out. So I'm totally blessed. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Sanatana Prabhu, last moment in connection with this story. My two sons, one is 38, he is a practicing anesthesiologist here in Las Vegas. Another one is an MBA also, he's 33. Both of them, they don't want to marry. Don't want to marry. They brought up in Krishna consciousness. And then they say, there is no suitable woman in this world for me. We have tried and tried and tried. And this is the situation. I'll pray to Lord Krishna as Mataji is saying. And then, every day when I'm putting Tulsi, to Bhavan Krishna, Tulsi Mata, please arrange something for my children. And then nothing has come up. I'll just pray to Lord Krishna, live there. If they can get Krishna Bhakti, that's what I all want. Thank you very much for allowing me last moment. Very well.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. I just lost two good friends in Brahmacharya Ashram. Just joking.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for all the very friendly talk and instruction, powerful Bhagavad Katha. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. We look forward for your association in the future also. Let's, if you're okay, let's end the call here, Prabhuji.
Yes. I extended the class, you extended the discussion. You are the perfect revenge. The perfect revenge.
Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Such a wonderful class as
Looking forward to meeting all of you
Thank
physically.
you so much.
Sanatana Dharma Prabhuji.
Radhe
Radhe. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so much,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Radhe. Dear Krishna, welcome back, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
I will end the call here.